Step 4, worthiness. Okay, so you've probably heard this before. You've probably heard me say this before. Everyone is worthy. Everyone. There's nothing that you need to do. There's nothing you need to prove. You don't need to work hard or struggle or sacrifice anything to be worthy. Everyone is worthy just by being here. Completely worthy of anything that you want at all. Yet a lot of us don't kind of live like that. We don't think that we think because wealth has been elusive to us, because what we want has been elusive to us, we think maybe there's something wrong with us, maybe there's some way that we haven't deserved it yet, maybe there's some way that we haven't proved ourselves to be worthy of it yet, maybe we've just not worked hard enough yet, maybe there's something missing in us, maybe there's, some other thing wrong. But it's not true. We're all worthy. We're all worthy. We've just been following dodgy teachers about it, dodgy teachings about it. When I was wealthy, I fully felt worthy. I felt I deserved all of it. And here's the crazy thing. I didn't do much for it at all. Not at all. When I started off in poverty, because as a student, so you start off in poverty when you're a student, and worse than that, when I finished being a student and I was a single parent and had a baby, and so I was in poverty. And when I decided I'm not settling for this, I want wealth instead, and I deserve wealth, and my son Guy deserves wealth too, then I got myself a job and did whatever it took and worked hard. Did I work hard? No, I just worked, really. I just worked, and the only hard thing about it was being able to get by on the money. And so, I was in a bit of a struggle, I guess, taking plenty of action, riding a bike to work because I couldn't afford to get there any other way, with my baby on the back, taking him to a childminder. And, it was hard, and it was hard for the first maybe 6 months. But I did whatever it took. It's like I proved to the universe that I'm going for it. I'm going for what I want. I want wealth, and I'm going for it. And that was about all of the struggle that I did. I found the work that I was doing easy. I used to have to do 35 hours a week, and had little clock things, little cards that I'd punch in, and could have half an hour to an hour lunch, unless I think sometimes we could have 2-hour lunches, which I often did, but we had to do these 35 hours a day. And what I used to do, because I found the work so easy, that I only actually needed to work about 3 hours a week, to work 3 hours a week. So usually it would be Thursday afternoon, because I didn't want to mess up my Friday. I would actually start doing some work, or Thursday morning, because I tend to work better in the mornings. So the rest of the week, what would I be doing? I'd be sat there at my desk, I'd clocked in and everything. I would be online. I would be in forums. I would be helping people with my spiritual work. I was hardly doing anything at all. Yet, I felt fully worthy of everything that I was getting. Not just that. Not only was I getting paid really well for that, knowing that I deserved it, because those 3 hours of work that I did a week, I produced excellent work. I was doing more than some of those that were actually working hard the rest of the 35 hours a week. But just because I was just good at it. I was really good at it. And my project manager, my boss, used to tear his hair out at me, saying, "You're just a nightmare to have working for you, because you don't fit into the normal, how everyone else works." And I ask you, how long is this going to take you? And everyone else figures it out in an amount of days, and you just say, "I'll have it done by the end of the week," because you only need to work those few hours and do it. And he knew that it worked. He knew that it worked, me doing that, but he couldn't manage me in the way that he'd been taught to manage people, and so he just had to let go and trust me, which was a great lesson for him too. But yeah, I wasn't working hard at all. Not at all. Yet I felt fully worthy of it, because I know that the work that I did produce for them, and the decisions that I made, and the projects that I moved forward, just through decisions, just through who I am, the daring, the person that sees a risk and knows whether a risk is worth taking and going for it and taking action. Just because of the person that I am, I knew that I was worthy of it. And not only that, but the money that I was making, I was investing. And so I was taught very well about money by my dad, to save, to be complete, to know exactly how much money I'd got. And so he taught me, it was all by checkbooks, and now we don't use checks anymore, although I think you do in the US, but we don't use checks the rest of the world anymore. But we used to have these checkbooks, and he taught me to not get the normal kind of checkbooks, to get the ones that have not the little tags on the side, but the ones that don't have that and have the ledger at the back instead. And he said, and whenever you spend money, you write it down in that, you keep a running tally so that you always know how much you've got. And so I used to do that, and I used to save, and I used to not get into debt, not ever. I used to have a credit card, but I used to pay it off every month. Knew how much money I'd got so that I never overspent on my credit card, so that I wouldn't be able to pay it off. So my money skills were brilliant. And so when I started getting a lot more money, I wasn't crazy with it. I didn't go out and spend it all. I did exactly what I'd been doing before. I was saving and I was investing. So when I started investing, I made some amazing decisions, and just inspired decisions they were. Because I was working around a lot of people that were, I was in IT, so I was around a lot of people who were into financial services and growing the wealth, and were earning a lot like me, and of course were of that mindset. And so I would hear them talking to each other about these investments and stuff, and not pay much attention at all. I wasn't really interested. It doesn't really interest me, that stuff, but I kind of hear them go on. And then I would get inspiration. Someone would say something, and I would just, it was totally my higher self, yeah, go for that one. And then I'd say, oh, just say that, what you said that again. And then I would go out and I'd invest in that, just with that nudge. Anyway, when I did that, I probably made about six or eight investments like that, in that particular way, that netted me like 1,000, maybe more % of the money that I put in. And I didn't even need to have my money in there for very long either. It made me a lot of money. And not just that, but with what my dad had taught me too, when it came time for my eldest son to go to school, and I was with my ex-husband at the time. He wasn't my husband at the time, he was my boyfriend at the time, but we were living in his house, which was in a catchment area where I didn't want my son to go to school. There were some high-rise buildings there was a lot of junkies there. I did not want him to go to school there. I wanted him to go to school where I went to school. And so my ex-husband wasn't in a position to sell our house because he'd made bad financial decisions and had bought the house at more than it was worth. But what I decided was to get my own house, and not just to get any house, to get a house where I could make a great financial, there would be a financial investment that I could get a good return off. And so I bought myself a house that was greatly reduced because it had been repossessed by a businessman who'd split it up into units, and then ran a business from the ground floor unit, and that had gone bankrupt or something. I don't know. I can't remember the story about it now. But for me to be able to buy this greatly reduced house, which was huge, big old Victorian house, I had to enlist a lawyer to sort it out because they couldn't legally sell it, so I had to get a lawyer. Anyway, it cost me a little bit of money to get it going, but I knew it was a really smart investment. I got that, and I renovated it to be a 6-bedroom luxury family home because that's what I wanted to live in, and because I knew that I'd make a lot of money out of it, and I did. I made a lot of money out of it. I made like $500,000 from it, taking a bit of my time, taking a bit of my effort. I got mostly builders and people to do it, but I did the bits that I liked and that were interesting to me. And and did the decorations and picked all the stuff for it and everything, which was really good. But my point is, I didn't make a lot of effort. I didn't make a lot of effort in any of it. I just felt completely worthy of it. I felt completely worthy that I deserved all these great things. And so what I want you to understand is that you don't need to prove yourself. You don't need to work hard. You don't need to struggle. You don't need to prove yourself in any way in order to be able to have this. You're worthy of whatever you want right now. You're as worthy as $5 million as I am, as the beggar on the street is, as anybody is, as a multimillionaire is. You're worthy of it all. So I just want you to know that. And so what I want you to do now is make a worthiness declaration. I did this the other day, and I did it in my journal. It's a lovely journal that I keep, and I write in almost every day. Let's see. I made a worthiness declaration, and I want you to do the same as well. And so if you've got a journal, then do it in your journal. Do it in your lovely journal. This is a great one because it's got different things on each page, and you can fill them in. It's really nice. But here you go. So get yourself a nice little pad or something like that. Get yourself a journal, because it's really good to journal all the time, to write down your thoughts and get them out so that they're not going around in your mind all the time. And it's good to look back on like this as well when you've done this. And so I did this 3 days ago. My worthiness declaration. So write down my worthiness declaration. And I'm going to read you mine so that you've got an idea of what to do. I deserve the best of the best. Now that's how I started, but then I decided to change it. Because deserving makes you feel like you've done something to get it. Deserving to me feels a little bit resistance. It feels like it's like justifying it. It's like, do you know what I mean? It feels a little bit negative, but I deserve it. You know, it's got that bit of resistance there, and it. Worthiness feels much better. So I changed that straight away after I'd written that. I deserve the best of the best. I am worthy of the best of the best. I'm worthy of wealth. I'm worthy of basics, of rent, food, massage, bills, etc. That goes without saying. I'm worthy of great wealth above that. I'm worthy of a car, not just any car, but a new luxury car. I'm worthy of amazing customers. I'm worthy of amazing friends. I'm worthy of an amazing house. I'm worthy of owning it. I'm worthy of an exceptional man, wealthy, accomplished, aware, sexy, passionate, amazing man. I'm worthy of having many men around me who are like that. I'm worthy of savings, investments, large amounts of money in my bank. I'm worthy of earnings of $10,000 plus a day. I'm worthy of holidays, many holidays, and travel alone and with friends. I'm worthy of ease, for everything to come easily to me. I'm worthy of following my passion and this being the only thing that I do. All that I have felt truly worthy of, I've created with ease. And I wrote that because I realised that last sentence that I just said, I'm worthy of following my passion and this is the only thing that I'll do. I felt worthy of that for many years now, and it has been the only thing that I've done. And I've realised that it was only because I felt worthy of it for all of those years that's allowed me for that to be the only thing that I do. And it's been easy. It's been easy to do that, to only do that. It has been easy to only do that. I now invoke, so after you've written all your worthiness things out and you know, don't do the same, you don't need to do the same as me. This is just what resonates with me. You can put whatever you want on there. Whatever it is that you want. And then at the end of it, I now invoke the creation of all of these things above, because I'm worthy of them all. And this worthiness declaration, you might want to do this quite regularly, maybe once a month, or when things change. Have this as an ongoing thing that you declare. And read through it too, because it feels good. It feels good to read through all of those and to tune yourself in that you really are worthy of that. You don't need to try and get it. As I was reading that, it might have brought up some stuff for you, like in the last step. You might not feel worthy. You might feel that it's wrong to have some of these things, like when I said worthy of a new luxury car. That might have brought stuff up for you. It might have brought stuff up for you when I said that I'm worthy of a massage. I get massages about once a week and I feel totally worthy of it. And think about the things that you have felt worthy of, that you're sure that you have felt worthy of for years, and see how easily they've been in your life all that time, just because you felt worthy of it. It might be that you've let in great friends. That's particularly something that I haven't so much, just because of my nature of traveling so much and being introverted and inwardly focused and just so passionate about fast change within myself. It's not something that I felt worthy of, but you might have felt totally worthy of amazing friends, and you've had them with ease. You might have felt worthy of, let's see, like I feel worthy of living next to the water, and I've lived next to the beach, next to the canal at the moment, and I'm about to move next to a marina and a beach. It's like how much water can you be next to? I feel worthy of it though, because it makes me feel great, and I know that I'm allowed to feel great, and living by water really makes me feel great, and so I felt worthy of that, and it's manifested easily in my life. You've got things that you've manifested easily in your life and that are always ongoing just because you feel worthy of it. And the trick is to start feeling worthy of everything that you want. So writing this worthiness declaration and reading through it and really feeling that it is available to you, and that you're allowed to have all of these things. It's important to say here that when you feel worthy of it, you're not taking away from anyone else. There is plenty to go around in the universe for everyone. It's not like there's one pot of money and if you take more then someone else is going to miss out. It's not true. You don't have any effect whatsoever on anyone else's wealth level. It's only their energy and their beliefs and what they think they're worthy of, and all of this that is creating theirs. The universe can give us exactly what we want, in every respect. It can give us the lessons that we want. It can give us the stuff that we want. There's plenty. There's nothing lacking at all on this planet. The universe, that's what the universe is. It's designed to give us all of the experiences and everything that we want. And so know that it's okay, that you are allowed. I went to see a speaker. It's a few years ago now, and it was really when I started lifting my abundance, worthiness, ideas of what I was worthy and what I was allowing up a level. And he just stood there on stage and he said, did you know that you can book out the theme park just for you and your friends in the evening after it closed, and it's not even that expensive, and that you're allowed, that you don't have to go when everyone else is there, that you're allowed to just do that, and it's not even that expensive and you can do that. He said, you're allowed. And then he was getting us to all say, I'm allowed, and he just went on and on saying different things like that, things that he had accepted into his life, allowed into his life, that he thought maybe we hadn't yet. Things that, were kind of leading edge for him, new things that he'd allowed into his life, that taken up to that next level. And it was such a nice experience. It was such a really nice experience to do that. And partner at the time, Jared, and I came away from that, and we just kept on saying we're allowed. And we went into a cafe afterwards to get a coffee, and and at the time I was having soy lattes with honey. I don't have honey anymore, but asked for honey, and they said, we don't have any honey, but you could have like a shot of vanilla in it, which will sweeten it up, or caramel, or whatever you want. And so we turned to each other and said we're allowed. And before that we didn't. We used to, we wouldn't want to have paid the extra dollar or whatever it was. We wouldn't have allowed ourselves that, and it was only $1 and it was really nice. So yeah, we got into that I'm allowed vibe. So get yourself into that allowed vibe. Notice what you've been stopping yourself from having like that. Like, notice what needs upgrading in your life and start upgrading those things. It's one of the biggest things that I learned was not to wait until the universe told me that I was worthy of something and give me the means to have it. It was to claim it myself, because it doesn't work the other way around. Like, the universe won't do it for you. You're the creator of your experience. You need to claim these things and decide that you're allowed to have them and go for them. And when you do, then the universe provides, And so, yeah, upgrade everything. Go through everything that's in your life and see, especially broken things. Like, really, you shouldn't have broken things around you. Things should be fixed or replaced. I used to have a big problem with replacing things because I was like fully got into the hippie vibe of you shouldn't waste anything, you shouldn't use anything, that there's complete lack. Got into the hippie lack vibe that everything's running out in the world and I shouldn't use anything, and I'm such a terrible person for even using toilet paper. That was the kind of crap that I got into, and that hippie stuff is just not true. It's like anti-abundance. The universe doesn't work like that. Nothing's running out. Absolutely nothing's running out. There's nothing in the environment that's running out that won't be replaced by something else even better. This reality is not as fixed and physical as we think it is. It's completely determined by a source that can provide anything that we want. And so, yeah, get yourself out of that whole lack belief that things are running out and that you shouldn't buy things or replace things or fix things, or that you're somehow causing a problem by using things. Upgrade your clothes, upgrade your house, upgrade anything that you want to upgrade it all, even the little things. When I really learned this, and that it was up to me to claim it, things have started happening for me so fast, like really fast. I started with going through my wardrobe and asking myself, is this what wealthy Claire would wear? And just throwing out, just getting rid of it. I don't think I threw it out. In fact, I think I gave it to op shops. But and making space. See, what I did then, it wasn't like, go out and get myself some new clothes and ram them into my already full wardrobe. I got rid of the stuff first, made space for it. And then what happened is I got some money, and then I went out and replaced and got some new clothes with it that were more aligned with me going forward. And then, yeah, when I got into this upgrading vibe, I received I think it was an audio from a program. I've always invested in myself, in self-help stuff, of course. It's what I love. No matter how little money I've got, I go for these things. I sign up for the courses, and I sign up for the classes, and I sign up for the books. I get the books, I get the audios, I get it all, because it just fascinates me. And so I'd signed up for someone's class, and it was a business class, and got this audio. The first thing that I listened to out of that class just blew my mind. It was about upgrading. And she said, "Are you sat at your dining table right now?" And it's like, yes. I was like, it's like she'd come into the room with me. I was at my dining table, and it was IKEA dining table. Like this, it was just a crappy thing, and it moved. And I had this laptop on it, and I would sit there at the dining table. I had these little drawers that were rusty. They were plastic drawers. It's like the cheapest of the cheap that you can get from Officeworks. 3 plastic drawers in this wheelie shelving thing, and it had gone rusty because I live next to the ocean. And she was saying this, and I'm like, oh no, yeah. She was saying, you're not serious about your business if you're sat at the dining table now and you haven't got yourself a proper office. And I'm like, right, I'm going to get serious about my business. I was already serious about myself and developing myself within that business, but I saw that what was around me wasn't reflecting that. The actual physical stuff that was around me wasn't reflecting that. So what did I do? I went out straight away. I was really daring. Didn't have the money to do it. I had probably about $3,000 in my savings because I'd already been saving a percentage of what I was earning for the last few years, and I do that all the time. Everything that comes in, a percentage goes away into savings. So I had some savings there. So what I did was I went out and I chose this desk and paid a deposit for it and arranged a delivery time. I chose those shelves and bought them outright because they're quite cheap. And when I got this chair, and I got those shelves there, and I got, so there are the shelves and that, and this chair what I bought outright. What did I put deposits down on? I put a deposit down on my iMac. I put a deposit down on, and I didn't stop that because the dining table needed replacing. It was a mess. Like it was just terrible. It would just move and squeak all the time. It was horrible. And when we were out looking for furniture for my office, I saw this amazing dining table and I couldn't resist it. And so I put a deposit down on that, and then thought, not stopping there, I want like a lounge in my office area. So when I'm reading or whatever I'm doing, and why buy just a lounge when we had this horrible grotty old thing of Jared's in the lounge room itself? Get a massive modular white leather lounge, and then I could use part of it in my office and part of it in the main thing. And so I put a deposit down on that too. That was all my $3,000 gone out of my savings. I claimed all of those things, and then when in the next 2 weeks before all this stuff was being delivered, and I needed to pay it off, like I told them all, I'd paid off in parts because there's a limit on my card. Got a debit card, and there's a limit of how much I can spend on it each day. And because I was buying a lot of furniture at the same time, I could only put, however limited amount of it was. And so I just kept on paying it off. More money came in, and I kept on paying each one off. And by the time that they were delivered, within 2 weeks afterwards, all of it was paid for. And I am talking about $10,000+ worth of furniture, and my furniture and equipment, and my office was completely kitted out then. Not just my office, but the rest of the house too. It just made such a difference, and I claimed it and I went for it, and I decided that I deserved it and I could have it, and did whatever it took, put deposits down, and trusted the universe because I knew I was worthy of it, because this lady was telling me that I'm only playing at business if I haven't got an office, and I believed that, and I knew that I was worthy of having a proper business, and so I went out and did it. And that's what it's required of you, is to take this worthiness declaration that you've had and know that you deserve these things, and start making those upgrades right now. Start taking a step towards each and every one of them right now, even if it's scary, even if you have to put a deposit down on something, and go for it, and just know that the universe agrees with you that you are worthy of it. Step forward in faith and go for it. Honestly, it will come to you. Everything that you need will come to you. Upgrade the little things as well. New knickers is a good one. I do it regularly now, in fact. I get myself new knickers regularly because it does make a difference about how you feel. That your clothes makes a huge difference. Makeup. Like, I was such a hippie when I moved here from Byron. I didn't used to wear makeup. I didn't used to do my hair. I didn't used to get my hair cut. Like, I never used to get my hair cut. I used to get my hair cut like once every 2 years or something, when it was just like getting really long and really bad condition. Now I get it cut probably once every 2 months, and I get it coloured as well. And started wearing makeup. And it's not because, like, the reason that I didn't do those things before was because I thought it was shallow and vain, and I didn't need to put a mask on for the world, and that it was like ego or something like that. And when I started doing it for myself, it actually started making me feel really good about myself. It started to make me feel worthy of much nicer things. It started to make me feel good when I went out to shops and went out to cafes, to feel like I actually was presentable and looked good. It started getting me a lot more attention from people and smiles, and that makes me feel good. It actually makes you feel really good to look after yourself really well. Upgrade your exercise. Start moving your body more. Like, this is going to have a huge impact on your worthiness. Like, huge, massive, massive, massive. When I started getting up every morning and exercising every morning because I knew that I deserved a healthy body and fitness and to feel really good, it makes such a difference to everything in your life. To everything in your life. And at the moment, I'm on day 60 of P90X, which is a 90-day program with Beachbody. And it's amazing. My body is changing so much and I'm feeling so fit and my core is so strong, which is making me feel more feminine. It's making me feel sexier. It's making my clothes look better on me. It's giving me so much energy. I don't feel like eating any of the crap that I was eating before. I'm eating much healthier now just because the exercise is making me feel better about myself, and I don't feel like eating the stuff that makes me feel bad. It's like I'm more in tune with my body now. I'm more in the physical. I'm more I'm taking care of my body. I'm like looking after my body, and it makes such a difference. So upgrade your exercise. And I know a lot of people don't go there. They don't want to start because they don't think they've got the energy for it. But it's the opposite. When you start doing it, you get so much more energy. And I find myself like bouncing up and down now when I'm doing my workouts. And there's a lot of different workouts in the program that I'm doing. And you do one a day in the morning. When I'm doing them, even before like weight sets or whatever it is that I'm doing, I'm bouncing up and down. I've got so much energy, I can hardly stop myself from moving. Not only that, but now I'm going out each afternoon as well for a walk or a bike ride, or getting out there and doing something in the afternoon too. It gives you so much energy, gives you so much positivity about yourself. And so how else can you upgrade? The diet, is what you're eating. You can upgrade what you eat. You can start eating healthier. You can learn about those things. If you're not a natural self-help person, although you probably are if you're in the inner circle, but maybe you don't. Allow yourself other things too. Maybe you're not getting the books that you want. Maybe you're not getting the courses that you want. Maybe you keep on seeing. Maybe you're one of those people that keeps on doing the free classes and not signing up for the main things. When, you don't... I used to do that for some time. I used to just do the free ones and not sign up for the main things, and you miss out on so much when you do that. When I started investing in myself and getting the full classes, wow, what a difference that made. What else can you upgrade? Things like travel and holidays, you can upgrade those. You can expect more for yourself. You can start looking in the higher price brackets. You can stop yourself from going to the bargain bins all the time and looking for the discounts and looking for the reductions and going into clothes shops and going to the sales rack all the time. You can stop yourself from doing that and know that you deserve the stuff that's full price. And not only do you deserve it, the people that have created those things and made those things, they deserve full price for it too. And the people in the shop, they deserve to be paid for delivering those things to you and being in the shop and giving you great service too and telling you how great you look in that dress that's full price. Everyone deserves all of these things. If you're doing the cheapy thing, if you're getting the discount stuff, if you're going for the sale thing, what you're saying is, like, I'm more worthy than them. They're not worthy, the people that made this. But that comes from a place of not even feeling worthy yourself. Yeah, can you see? It's like not feeling worthy yourself, so you get the sales stuff, and what you're saying is that other people aren't worthy too, and it's just this downward spiral of that. It really is. It's just this downward spiral of horribleness. It doesn't feel good to receive money when it's highly discounted. When you're someone that's created something, it doesn't feel good. And you will know that yourself when you've not received proper value from something that you've done. When you've done something and you've not received from it, it feels hard. It feels hard. So don't do that to other people, and don't do it to yourself too. I'm a one to talk. That's one of my biggest things. That's something that I really need to work on. I'm holding my hands up and being honest here. That's what I need to work on myself. I discount myself a lot, and I can't stop myself from going to those sales racks. I love getting a bargain. But not always, This top I got for a photo shoot, and that was full price, and all of the stuff that I bought that day was full price. And so sometimes I feel worthy of it, so it's something for me to work on. But you probably need to work on it too. What else? Technology. That's made a difference. Wow. When I allowed myself this iMac, which I'm recording this on, it made me feel totally different about myself, about my business. Then I was going to manifest a MacBook Air for when I go away so that I could carry on working when I was away. And I wondered why I couldn't get the money together for it. I was trying to save the money for it and it just wasn't happening. The money wasn't coming in. And then I decided to change my mind, that actually what I wanted before that was not something for my business. It was something for me. I wanted something for me. And so what I wanted was an iPad mini, because then I'd be able to read books on it and I would be able to look online and do like shopping online on that, so that I didn't need to come on to my business computer in the evenings or in the weekends. So I had a way of getting online that was just for me, not for work, just for me. Oh, and I manifested the money for like that when it was just for me. I got the money for it instantly and went out and bought myself that. And that made me feel so good, because this iPad mini that I've got, which is in my bedroom at the moment, I use it so much. It's got my guided meditations on there, other people's guided meditations on there. It's got Kindle books on there. I very rarely use it for work, although I've used it just once or twice, just when it's the right thing to use, like recording my audio books. I do it with the Kindle in front of me. But yeah, generally that's just for me, not for my business. It's just for me. And I felt those kind of things make me feel really worthy. So what kind of things would make you feel really worthy if you allowed yourself them? This is really important. This step is really, really important. Your worthiness declaration, and then taking the steps to match that worthiness declaration and claiming those things for yourself and knowing that you're allowed them. You're allowed. Say it now. Everyone shout, I'm allowed. Don't care what your neighbours or everyone else thinks. Say it. I'm allowed. I'm allowed these things. You're not hurting anyone by allowing yourself these things. You're not taking away from anyone by allowing yourself these things. And so share what this brought up for you in the Inner Circle Facebook group. And not only that, but let us know what you've upgraded, because it's going to give people ideas to upgrade. I was on this money boot camp for someone else's, and we were doing this kind of upgrade thing, and everyone shares all the time in that Facebook group what they upgrade, and it's so good, because it triggers you. It triggers you into thinking about it. It's like, wow, yeah, I haven't upgraded that yet. No, I'll do that now. I'll upgrade that. There's so many things that we forget about sometimes, and we just accept the level that things are at in our lives, instead of pushing that and actually accepting more and going for more and really feeling how it feels like to have broken and bargain bin stuff in our lives and not looking after ourselves, really feeling how that feels. And it doesn't feel like wealth, and it doesn't feel like good. Okay? So that's your mission today, to do all of those things. And share in the Facebook group. We all want to hear from you.